How's it going, everybody? This is Mystic Ninja Soul coming at you. I am going to be doing a review of the MMO that is made by Amazon Gaming called New World. Now, this game is not your typical MMO. I don't really know if there's any classes per se, but I do know that it is actually fully voiced over. Very good game. So far from what I've played, I ended up getting a key from another streamer, so I was able to get into the closed beta. The only other way you can get into the closed beta if you don't get a key is to pre-order the game, which is on Steam for $39.99 for the standard version or $49.99 for the deluxe version. The only difference between the deluxe version and the standard version is you get some extra skins per se. Now, you start out the game, it does have a long cutscene and everything, but you start the game, you get to create your character, the way he looks, which the character customization for closed beta is actually really not that bad. Um, Shockingly, I've got my character looking pretty damn close to how I look in real life. Now, you start off on the island, you basically learn how to fight. You start off with a sword and shield, and then before the tutorial ends, in a way, it's like a small tutorial, I guess, kind of like a here's how the game starts kind of thing. And you have your first boss battle and all that stuff. Now, the leveling's not bad in the game. I'm gonna give it that. There are some improvements I would definitely say that it needs, but like I said, it is a beta, so it is understandable. Now, the one thing that I absolutely like that it has is that it has colorblind options for people that are colorblind. Now, not only that is the fact that, it is Amazon. Of course, it's tied to Twitch. So you can let the other people know, hey, look, I'm streaming right now. But in my opinion, big whoop-de-doo. Because in all honesty, it's not really going to get you a lot of more people into your streams or whatnot. But I will say that it is a very sought after game for one reason. I had to wait 30 minutes before I could play during this recording review. That's how long of a queue line this game has. I mean, people are like, oh, it's not that big of a deal because it's made by Amazon. People, it's not really hyped up, blah, blah, blah. The demand for this game is quite high, honestly. But what can you do? Now, like I said, if you pre-order the game, you can get it. Or if you're lucky and you get a key from a streamer, it's not bad. It's actually a really fun game. It's good. It's good for partying and everything. The quest system is actually really good. So far, I like the leveling system, and I've had a chance to try out a few of the different weapons. So it's not bad. And not to mention most of the stuff that you have to use in the game, especially like arrows and stuff, you have to physically craft them, which I think is pretty cool. Um, I would never in a million years as well think of Amazon creating their own MMO or game in general for that matter. But from what I've played so far of it, I'm hooked. I mean, it's actually a pretty fun game. Now, there's also these rumors going about, all over YouTube and all that, that the game is breaking RTX 3090 cards and AMD 6800, 6900s. I've got an RTX 2070 in my machine, and I've had absolutely no issue whatsoever with it. Now, as to how factual that is yet to be determined. But now, what I'm showing right here is, your different skill points. You got weapon mastery, trade skills. You've got all kinds of skills you can have in this game. There's many different weapons as you see. Sword and shield, rapier, hatchet, spear, great axe. Um, you even have magical items, which I think is pretty cool. And then you have a musket. What? So there's a multitude of different weapon types you have. Now, whether or not there's tank or DPS type build in this, I have absolutely no idea. As I haven't played a whole lot of the game just yet. But um, if I had to guess when the game does release, everything in the closed beta course is going to be, completely eradicated. Your character is going to be gone, all that kind of stuff. But this is definitely a game I would grab. Now, I've noticed on some of the maps you have different stuff. You can get different skills, different kind of XP type stuff. Now, I'm gonna guess that each weapon set or whatever you do ha has its own skill tree, different set of skills you can get. Now, I see that you can respec. I don't know if it's free or not. Now, as well in this game, there's hunting. You can craft weapons at smelters, forges, and all that kind of stuff. So you have to make a lot of your stuff that you have in this game. It's just not like, oh, I can go buy it. No, not necessarily true. Um, because for a lot of the quests as well, you have to kill animals, skin it, get its pelt, and all that stuff. You have to craft camping stuff. You have to mine certain things. I mean, it's just a multitude of stuff that you have to do in this game. It's not just go here, kill that, go here, kill this, blah blah blah. Now, as you can see, in a lot of stuff, I'm showing off a lot of the fighting. Now, one other thing that you will have to deal with in this game is something called corruption, which is what causes a lot of the monsters in the game, I guess. Now, you're on a island, and I guess you get shipwrecked. You're on an island called Eternum. Now, how you have all these magical stuff, I'll never figure out. Now, I've only noticed that so far you have two primary ranged weapons, and that's a bow and a musket. Now, I still haven't figured out how to use a musket, but in terms of the bow, you have to craft them. You have to go kill something with feathers and all that. Now, the only other staff, well, the first staff that I got to try out was the life staff. Now, I'm going to guess that's kind of more so your healer. The other one that you can do is a fire staff and an ice gauntlet. Now, I don't know if the gauntlets, like, you punch them and they turn to ice, or you throw your hand up and you do like some Iron Man bullshit and you freeze them to death. I don't know. Now, the one thing that I'm still wanting to learn how to do is turn off global chat because it's toxic as hell. Now I have yet to run into any other player, GM, mod, that kind of deal. But I do know that they are keeping up with a lot of stuff in the game. Hey, this is what's going on. Hey, we're taking the servers offline to fix this. Hey, there's a really bad bug that's come across. So I'll give them that. They're doing really good, with nicking the bugs and everything. And they brought out a statement about the whole bricking the bricking the graphics cards today. So in all, that's not bad. All right, sorry, I had to cut the voiceover short there for a minute. I had a call. But anyways, as you see, there are a lot of boss quests, not boss quests, but boss fights in this game. A lot of other people play. You can team up. Now, later on in the game, you have to get into what is called a faction. Now, you can't be factionless in this game, so you got to choose, which one you want to be in. Now, I have yet to determine whether or not you can have a character on multiple servers, or if you have one character, it can only be on one server. But we'll find out. But now, like I said, now as you can see here, I did find a few arrows, so I was able to do that. Now, the long range stuff I've noticed does a lot of damage, especially if you hit some like very vital parts. Now that red glowing stuff right there, that's the corruption stuff and everything. Now, the one thing that you will run into while playing this, unfortunately, is people trying to steal your kill. And I've had that happen a few times where I've had to kill the same thing more than once because someone did more damage than I did and ended up getting the credit for it. But I haven't come across people being just absolute pricks and, just trying to loot everything I have. So that's a plus. Now, I don't have the graphics as high as they can go. I put it up to about, I think, very high, even though I'm sure I could get up to ultra if I really wanted to. But right now, I was just more concerned, like, hey, I want to get the frames per second up there. Now, as in most other MMOs, of course, you have gear score in this game. So you have, your epic gear, your common gear, your rare gear, that kind of stuff. Now, I've noticed that some of the greenish colored gear is somewhat better than the other gear, but then sometimes it's not, which is kind of shocking. But I can definitely see that there's so many different types of play styles within this game. Now, I'm still on the fence of pre-ordering the game. However, I'm quite very well enjoying this game. It's supposed to be releasing on August the 31st, and it's going to be one of those ones that you buy it, you can play it for however long you decide to. It isn't one of those that you have to have a subscription model on it, that kind of deal. Now, as I said, they do tie this into Twitch, but not many people play on Twitch, stream on, well, not play on Twitch, stream on Twitch or watch Twitch because of all the bullshit they've got going on. Like, I mean, so much bullshit. They keep shooting themselves in the foot every day. Now, what gets me is you have all these bigwig streamers that keep saying that one particular streaming platform called Brime is a complete joke, but I assure you it is not. I will be linking my Brime profile in the description below, and I stream there, Twitch and YouTube every Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. Until then, everyone, have a good day. Laters.